What do you think about the boat?
Very exciting. It's been 3 years in the planning and we've waited 6 weeks for it to come, so we've got a lot of work to do. It's a second-hand boat.
The Atlantic Pole of Inaccessibility is a sailing expedition to the centre point of the Atlantic, supporting a plastic research survey by Plymouth University. So Plymouth University have got a PhD student studying macroplastic in the North Atlantic, which is using the Sentinel-2 satellite imagery to identify plastic build-up in the North Atlantic gyre. So we will be taking ground truth surveys, so any plastic that we see during the sail, we'll be documenting its position, trying to take a sample, trying to take photographs, and that will all feed into their database.
Along the way, we're also going to be deploying an Argo weather buoy for Ocean OPS and the Met Office. There's a hole of data where the buoys have drifted apart, southwest of Madeira, which we are going to try and locate and fill. Once the plastic comes off, the cardboard all stays in this buoy and we throw it over the back. And this is going to be recording surface temperature, salinity, drifting, currents. The exciting thing with these drifter buoys is that there is a shelf life to them. They don't last forever. So what we're going to try and do is pick up one or two in the North Atlantic that are coming to their end of their life cycle or have finished their life cycle.
So we'll be sailing down to Madeira and then we'll probably be going southwest and directly west to the pole.
A lot of the refit to the yacht we're doing ourselves, and we learnt that from watching our father do DIY when we were younger. We built this shed behind us, which is kind of handy DIY stuff.
I don't know what that says about it, actually. It is.
It's glorious.
And we're trying to do the same with the yacht, trying to reuse and recycle as much of the old bits that we're taking off the boat and repurposing and reusing them.
Second morning and the engine has got to come out.
Which way are you going to go?
I'm just going to go straight over.
Okay, through.
To make a boat more sustainable, a big aspect of that is taking out the diesel engine and putting an electric drive motor in.
Another aspect of the boat that we're refitting to be more sustainable is we're putting a thin layer of carpet called Finsulate, which is an anti-foul. It doesn't release any toxins into the water, it just stops algae and wildlife growing on it. So we're really excited to try that.
From the outside, every morning we'd go, gosh, he looks really crap.
We worked out how many hours we worked on the boat, and I think we did something like 550 hours over 2 months in preparing for this trip. So it was kind of long 15, 16-hour days.
It's been 3 years in the making, and finally, today is the day that we start our Quintet Powers Blue Pole project.
No, it's Quintet Earth.
Let's go. The Quintet Earth Powers Blue Pole project.
Yeah, nice.
Our teammates consist of Patrick Condy.
I'll be documenting the trip as we go and sending back images via satellite of what's happening, being also part of the crew and sailing. And I think it's a great project to be involved in. It's very exciting.
We've also got Lisa Kingston, who's the fourth member of our crew.
I'm excited to do Sailing with Purpose, which is a big dream of mine. Fingers crossed we'll make it.
we are starting to nickname everything. The tillers are the most important part, and because they've got a black top and obviously, sorry, a white top and a black bottom, they look like nuns. So we're going to call them Dolores Van Carte of Sister Act. The one that goes, whoa!
Oh, wow, this is going to be an outtakes, isn't it?
I'm trying it for size because I haven't done one yet. I don't know whether it's here. Is it all like wedge it in the middle? Or even here? Oh, that is quite good. We can't sail around with all of this in there.
Do you think that blade has stopped?
Yeah, because these aren't twist. These are just.
Can you twist that one?
No, they're just in and out, you can't twist them. Worst comes to worst, we pull into port.
Yeah, but I think that's a few days. We can no longer drain this ballast tank, which has got about, I think we're guesstimating about 500, 700 litres of water. And this valve is broken, so we're going to need to get a new one. But in order to get a new one, we need to drain this tank. But the only way to drain the tank is... Sorry?
Is the end in the water?
Yeah. Is to siphon with some hose the other end on the outlet at the overflow. So it's all a bit of a nightmare.
Hey boys,
Morning,
how's it going?
It's good to be here. How you doing?
So good
How
to
weird,
be
man. Yeah.
Stop, man. My name is George Calvis. I'm an Econ ambassador from West Coast of Ireland.
Now after you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so we flying bus. Be nice little shift patterns.
This is where the diesel engine and the diesel would have gone, but now it's all electric, so it's 100% emission free. We're obviously on a kettle, not gas, so it is 100% emission free, which is really exciting.
Comms, really simple. We'll take you through it later, but 12-volt charging, batteries, cameras, etc. And then GPS here, and then a repeater out there, so when we're helming in the day or the night, we don't have to come in. And that's
And then you're
literally
bunked,
it.
you're sitting on your bed, storage up here.
Sails away, went to sleep for that.
How's it feel, Hugs, to finally be leaving the harbour?
Brilliant. A bit weird that you're leaving the safety of a harbour, but very pleased to be on the way, heading south.
They really seems to be enjoy the electric engine, the really quiet boat.
It's becoming really glassy, and we're already into loads of dolphins.
With all our electric adventures, range anxiety and range itself is always the problem. We've got 8 miles to get around the headland, which is where the weather says the wind is, but we've only got 67% of battery left. We need to keep 40 for getting into the next port for safety, so arguably we've got 27% to get around this point, and we know that range we're not going to get there. So I think we now have to come to a kind of stat where we have to turn the engine off.
We've been using observation mainly and collecting that data and putting it into protocols and crib sheets where we reserve the position, the time of day, the weather, sea state, the description of the debris we've seen, and then send it back to them so they can start building up a better picture of what plastic is actually present in the Atlantic.
We saw plastic pretty much every single day, and now I say every few hours. If you imagine doing that 100 times across, the stats become pretty grim.
We had pretty steady, good sailing all the way south, and then, approaching northern Spain, the wind completely dropped, and that, I think, is where our first challenge appears. So we found this French catamaran on the AIS system, and we've managed to intercept them using the B&G chart plotter, and now he's going to give us a tow into A Coruña.
Get ready to throw. Yeah, throw it. Pick up. Finish. Pull in fast. Wait, he'll readjust. He's coming forwards. Throw, yeah, throw. You need to get your hands in there.
Go back, back!
Allez! Forward!
Low down.
Well, while we're waiting for wind, we don't need to wait for fish. And there's a lot of fish under the boat, so I'm just going to go along and see if we can get a little soup for supper.
Fishing for mackerel.
It's gorgeous fish.
We are cooking on induction. So this is what we've been cooking when we have been using it downstairs in the boat and running it off the main batteries for the engine.
A Coruña was amazing, but it was so frustrating because the weather was always just offshore and it was just out of range of our electric power. So we were always trying to get out, try and get the early morning winds, which would or wouldn't appear. So we attempted multiple times to get off.
This is what happens when you try to match performance with the electric sail drive with forecasted wind. Sometimes they don't match up. We are meant to have 7 knots of wind right now. At the moment we've got 2.5 knots.
Back where we started.
How do we feel about coming back in, Rossi?
Really, really crap.
Not yet, Lisa. I might need you. Not right now. Okay, it's going to get rocky because of the waves. Nobody panic. Okay, Rossi, hang on. Yeah, you see it. Okay, run it on, Rossi. Tacking. Good, run it on. Let go of that, Lisa. More engine. Engine's off. Under control, good tack. Rossi, empty out any that we've got on that side, and then make sure she's fully pumped on this side, yeah?
guys, we're in northern Spain and we have an update for you. Over the last few weeks we have sailed down here on a 100% emission-free project, which in itself has been incredible. But the weather has not been in our favour. We have been stuck in northern Spain with, as you can see, very light winds, which the issue with that is that due to the technology and the electric engine, we can't get very far in low winds, and the whole entire boat and the technology relies specifically on the electric engine. The other side of that is that we want to avoid the storms and the higher seas and the winds, because ultimately we're out here doing a plastic research survey, so we need a slightly lower speed for the boat so we can spot the plastic.
Taking all of this into account, we've made the decision, and it's a tough decision, to head back to the UK. While we're heading back to the UK, we'll continue to conduct our plastic survey for Plymouth University, and we'll also be deploying our Argo buoy for Ocean OPS and the Met Office.
Oh. Not reaching, the end destination, which was the pole of inaccessibility, was a huge disappointment. But at the end of the day, that's the very nature of expeditions. We're trying to do things that people haven't done before and attempted. So it's always a voyage of discovery.
Biggest takeaway for me was it's okay to be ambitious and not to achieve that ambition. I think even if you go for it and you fall short of the mark, you've achieved something and you've pushed your own boundaries.
Somebody said to us, not too long ago, they said, what's your dream? And we were like, oh, we want to do this, that, and the other. And then they said, right, we'll double it. And so we were like, immediately doubled it. And it took that outside person to say, double your dream. So we doubled it and we still achieved it. So even though we think our expedition or, our adventures are this level, someone's gonna say to you, double it, but you can still achieve it. And that is amazingly satisfying.
It